I think swimming was probably the most enjoyable thing that I ever did when I was a child growing up, and still is today. There wasn't any swimming pools in our area. And when somebody dug a new pond, well, we'd go swim in that pond as soon as it filled up because there wasn't snakes or anything, and then we'd go swim in the pond later, and we'd fill our pockets full of rocks before we got them. We'd drive the snakes to the other side of the pond, and that's where I learned to swim in a pond. And I always thought it was such a great idea to go swim in a clean swimming pool. And every time I got around a hole of water that I could get into, I really enjoyed going swimming. I married when I was young and had 4 children. And I was married to a real beautiful woman, and she's passed on now. And I give the credit to her for being an excellent mother to my children. Is the reason why that they have excelled in business. Of course, I was always a do-it-yourselfer myself. I built houses, I built barns, I built all kinds of things. And one summer, well, in 1967, I put up an above-ground swimming pool for my children, and they played in it that first summer, and it was one of those cheap things that Sears and Roebuck sold. And I had a little Mazda car, and my daughter was learning how to drive this car, and I had a big field by my house, and she'd drive that car in the field, and she pulled it up in our parking area. It was elevated above where the pool was, and she left it out of gear and didn't put the parking brake on, and it coasted downhill in the second gear and hit our pool, and it tore it, completely busted and tore up. And I told the kids, I said, we're not going to build it back this summer. We're not going to put a new pool up. We're going to put us an in-ground swimming pool. So I started knowing nothing about swimming pools. I had no earthly idea any facet about building a swimming pool whatsoever. Talked to dealers in Jackson, Tennessee, and dealers in Memphis, Tennessee, and I started buying component parts to build my own in-ground swimming pool, and I started from scratch. We had the first swimming pool in our community, a nice 20 by 40 swimming pool. When I built that pool, a neighbor come and asked me to build them one, and I went from my backyard to his backyard, and then from that backyard to another backyard, and that's how that I backed into the swimming pool business. Of course, I farmed 1,000 acres, but farming didn't take up all of your days and nights. So in 1969, when I started the pool business, and I just built 3 swimming pools the first year. But you know, people would come and look at mine, and they looked at others and everything, and the word. My business started from word of mouth. There was dealers in Jackson, Tennessee at that time, and Memphis, Tennessee. I started one in a 750 town population. It was unbelievable that I made a success out of it in that size of a town. But you know, the pools didn't go in that town. They went all over West Tennessee. And I sold some in Arkansas and Kentucky, and I've attended many swimming pool conventions and things down through the years, and before the boys ever got involved. And you know, I was talking to a guy in Union City just this week, and he asked did I envision anything like that. I said, man, not in my wildest dreams that the business would explode to that point, because when I was building swimming pools, there were very few people that could afford a swimming pool. I mean, and there's the economy has increased and salaries has increased, and you know, we live in a fortunate country nowadays. I built lots of swimming pools in several counties in West Tennessee and some in Arkansas and different places before that I decided to get out of the pool business. And then I chose to go in the auction and real estate business along with my farming, which worked out real well. And I've been president of the Tennessee Auctioneers Association, the National Association. I set a state record on dollar volume sold at an auction, a farmland auction. I've been real active. Anything that fascinated me, I tried it. What do you want to get for them? I got $25 now here in the morning, 30 now, 5 now, 40, 5 now, 50, 55 now, 60. I sold it $50. Bidder number 22. Well, I'm real proud of my children, and I'm proud of the success that they have and the knowledge that they have acquired. You know, to run a successful business, you got to gain a lot of knowledge. You got to have product knowledge, and you got to know how to manage in any business. I never dreamed that they would have locations scattered in 4 states, buildings and inventory, equipment and all that. 7 or 8 states that they're building in today. What I can tell you about Dennis is I thought I was the workingest fool in the world, but he is. He's superseded. I guess would go to Hawaii and build a swimming pool if they ever got a contract on one. They'd run a big boat and load equipment up and head to Hawaii.